It's bourbonblog.com, and the first interview outside of PCA that our good friend Sean Williams has done about the new Cohiba Serie M Reserva Roja. And Sean, my friend, a beautiful day there in Georgia. Great day here.
Absolutely gorgeous day. Absolutely, yeah, man.
It's so good to see you, my friend. How you been doing?
I've been good. What about yourself?
I've been great. We're gearing up for Kentucky Derby events this week. We have one where we're going to be featuring some wonderful Cohibas. We'll tell everybody about in a few minutes. But and you have one too this week too.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm there every year in some capacity. I think this may be the first year in a number of years that we may not actually see each other though. My event is Friday night at Riverside Cigar and Match Cigar Bar over in Jeffersonville, Indiana, with my guy Jeff Mute. So it's been a tradition now, dating back, man. I'm trying to think. My first, maybe 2010.
Since he started the
2010,
place,
2011. Yeah. I've been doing it. It's been customary, and there were maybe 1 or 2 years for whatever reason, family stuff or personal stuff.
Right.
I couldn't make it, but for the most part, it is a standing tradition. So I know where I'm going to be at every night of the Oaks.
Right. So it's Match. People just need to come to Match Cigar Bar, right?
Yeah. Where else you gonna go, man? I mean, you want a cigar, you want some great spirits, and you want me blabbing off to you, talking to you. where else you gonna go, man?
Go to Match on Friday night, and then come see me Wednesday night.
At Bourbon's Bistro.
Bourbon's Bistro.
My guys,
we're gonna have
Buzzard's Roost Bourbon, man.
Buzzard's Roost Bourbon. That's right. The black, the blue, and a Connecticut to go. We're gonna have Buzzard's Roost. We're gonna have the double oaked Peerless. I have them all in front of me. In fact, look at this.
Yeah, nice.
And we're going to have the Bacta, the new Bacta 2014 bourbon finished in Armagnac cask.
That looks
finished
amazing.
Armagnac cask finished.
That looks amazing.
So good. And then also a very nice vintage Armagnac. And there's still some tickets on bourbonblog.com. We'll be sharing our adventures, both Sean and I will. But I thought it'd be great, in case we don't see each other, to actually light up one of these wonderful series.
Yes. I've been waiting. I haven't had a cigar all day, man. So
me too, my friend. Just before we light, this is actually closed foot, right?
Yeah, which is customary for the Serie M. And that adds an extra element because you got, so this wrapper is different. It is still the Corojo variety, but if you can look at it, it's a little bit darker, a little bit richer, a little bit redder. Has more, a
little bit more red hues.
In cigar parlance, we refer to that color as sort of a Colorado, right?
Colorado. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the name, Reserva Roja, Red Reserve.
So Red Reserve, and that's the reason why it's Reserve. It's a little deeper age, the wrapper. Or?
Well, the Reserve really speaks to the production of the cigar. Like this is we made even less of this cigar this year because of the.
You made less.
We only typically we would do 5,000 boxes a year, which is 50,000 cigars. This year we're only doing 30,000 cigars, 3,000.
You're doing
boxes,
even fewer.
Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit harder to find, but if you can track one down, it's definitely worth the effort. You know what I mean?
So same wrapper, but a little different as far as
just a heavier fermentation, so to speak.
Heavier fermentation.
Yeah. So Corojo wrapper, Corojo binder as well, which is a little bit different.
Little binder.
Filler has some of the things that they're familiar with the Jalapa and the Esteli and the Political Bano. The difference in the filler is the Viso Dulce, which is a beautiful Nicaraguan Viso variety. Great cigar. But yeah, man, let's
give it a try. You have
the closed foot, right. So initially, take your time and light that, because you want to try to pick up the essence of the wrapper, sort of isolated without the blend, and a little added experience to it. So.
All right, trying the new Serie M right here with Sean Williams. This is the fourth release of the Serie M. So beautiful, just right off the top. That is, again, the only Cohiba made at El Titan de Bronze there in Miami. This is this very special cigar.
Only Cohiba made in the U.S., man. Yeah. So
very beautiful. Yeah. So this is out now. People can find, there's not many of them, but people can find this.
Yeah, it actually started shipping just a little bit after the show, so they're on shelves, across the country. Hopefully, people were able to find them and at least give one a try. And yeah, man. So really,
Now,
really excited. 4 years into this partnership
4 years into it, when you
with
first
Sandy
approached
Kobus.
the Cohiba M, what was your goal with Cohiba M in the beginning?
Well, just offer something a little bit more personal, a little bit more intimate experience with the brand, right? And there's nothing that could accomplish that more than doing this cigar at a small family-owned factory on Coyote in the Little Havana, and not just a family-owned factory, a family-owned factory that's like family to me. I mean, I started making cigars back there with them in 2009, 2010. So there's a lot of history there, a lot of love there. So it was just for a number of reasons, man. This is just a great thing to do, and it's been a great partnership. Like I said, 4 years in. And really excited for this release here, and hopefully people have a chance to try it and dig it.
Absolutely, I've loved them all. I know the size changed a little bit through the releases. Last year it was the first.
Last year was a Prominente, and that was the only difference that we had ever done. Each year,
really done. You were evolving.
Yeah. First one was a classic Toro. Second was a Corona Gorda. Last year was a Prominente. So the blend always stayed the same. We just
always the blend was the same.
And we thought, 3 years with that it's a good time to really get into the nuts and bolts of the cigar and just kind of remix the original a little bit.
Absolutely. And I'm tasting some of the original, as we say in whiskey, some of the original DNA that I got on the original. Some of those chocolate notes, that really beautiful pure cacao is on there, almost like you're having you're smelling like dry cocoa in the most beautiful way against cedar.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
cocoa and cedar, you picked that up. Yeah, man. Yeah,
cocoa, cedar.
Yeah.
But also there's this great spice undertone of earth.
That's the big difference. The
earth is really.
It's more pronounced spice on the front of the palate. Just a richness to it. It's not like a picante, like it tingles
right.
the tongue, but you feel it. It's very, very vibrant, and that's what you want to do. I mean, we want to keep the ethos of the original blend, and just see if we can layer something on top of it, and really just sort of going with a different version of the Corojo wrapper, adding that richer element, and keeping that that sort of undercurrent of the cocoa with the cedar. I think we landed on something good, man.
You really did. And as I was reading the box, you're welcome. Did I notice that one of the tobaccos had quite a bit of age to it? Did I see that it? And by the way, that box, look at that. I love the fans. The
get my Vanna White on. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah. Here's the Vanna. It has this wonderful retro, almost a travel through time there.
Yeah, man. I love it. So
you got that cedar strip there to keep it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's so lovely.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So, yeah. So,
always one of my favorite releases of the year.
Yeah, it's typical with us, and I'm glad you sort of referenced the verbiage on the box. It kind of really lays out. I mean, I went through the blends, tobacco, but it's all laid out there. And yeah, as far as the one thing that we hadn't done is we hadn't put a year statement on the previous releases, which is
that's
weird.
What I was thinking. Yeah.
So this year we did. And you referenced the aged tobacco. It's a Criollo 98, and it's not.
That's what I was saying. 98.
Yeah, but the tobacco is different. It's not like wine. It's not like the tobacco was harvested in 98. Criollo 98 is actually a variety of Criollo.
Okay.
So it's this particular seed strain was developed in 98 and
it was developed in 98
from some other Criollo. Yeah, you have Habano Criollos. Yeah, you have a Criollo 98 that's grown in Dominican and that's grown in Nicaragua. So this is Nicaragua. So it's just some nuanced differences, but it speaks to a variety, not the age of the tobacco. But that's a good catch.
So the 98 actually it was created in 98, but it's not from 98.
Yeah, just like you have a very popular leaf used for years called Habano 2000. which was a Habano leaf that was basically developed or pioneered in 2000.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah. So, but those are good questions, good things to ask.
No, it's helpful, and I love how you can read that. The story is told. These tobaccos, around how old are they then that are in this?
There's no tobacco in this less than 5 years old.
Right.
So
it's a nice age.
You can see.
Yeah.
I mean,
beautiful age.
I mean, we may have something a little bit younger. The Dolce Viso may be 3 years old or so, but everything else is going to be in the 5 year plus range.
Now, what you've done here constructing this, and again, tell us down below as you're watching this, if you've tried some of the Cerium, what your favorite Cohiba is, even what your favorite pairing is, and make sure you like and subscribe so you can watch all the great interviews we do with folks like good friends Sean Williams talking about Cohiba. I'm pouring a few. Let's talk about what you're pouring there to pair with this. I'll talk about what I'll be pouring next week. But what are you pouring there, Sean?
We talked about this before, man. This Blue Run. This is it is hard to find something that you think is like really different. In the spirits category and as well in the cigar category. And but there's something very distinct about this, man. It has just this night mix, and they actually sort of mentioned it on the back of the bottle. A meticulously balanced, sweet and spicy bourbon.
Has a good balance of both, sure.
Yeah, man, it does, and it's of course this is the Coors family now owns this cool little micro brand, so to speak. Trey Wade is the activations or the consumer activations director. Had a chance to work with him at the Masters. A pleasure to work with, but this juice drink's really, really good, man. It's Bardstown. You're familiar with their stuff. That's
Absolutely.
where this is bottled. So as you said, it has some really, really good DNA.
It does,
with a little extra glitter sprinkled on top.
For that reflection, I've always been a fan, Sean, of the Blue Run. Got to know one of the founders, Mike Montgomery, from the very beginning, and as they've transitioned over to Coors, I've had David Coors and Mike on the show, and hopefully we'll see Trey next week at the Derby events. But this was something. This one especially actually was distilled by the other good friend, Hall of Famer Jim Rutledge, who used to be at Four Roses, and he did this one at Castle and Key, and just really, everything Jim has ever put his hands on, he's done great work with. Shaylin Gannon picking out those wonderful barrels as well. I mean, the whole team there is doing just amazing work in the purity, and I actually will often pour some of the Blue Run with a cigar, and we've done some events where we have. Today, I started off with, and I know it's a favorite of both of ours, the Double Oak Peerless, which, again, if people are coming to our event on Wednesday, and they can just go to bourbonblog.com to learn more about that. But just a moment, I'm going to shift because last week, as I told you, I was with Raj Bhakta, founder of the Bhakta Spirits, and we did try the Cerium together in one of his libraries because he has this wonderful campus, the Bhakta Griswold campus, along with the Armagnac cask finished bourbon, and we were blown away just on how incredible the Cerium does pair with both.
I think that you may want to give people a little bit of a backstory on the.
I would be happy to. Absolutely, this is
about the Bhakta brand. Yeah,
the Bhakta brand. Yeah, Raj started this. He was the founder of Whistle Pig, and then years later he has started the Bhakta Griswold campus, which was a defunct campus called Green Mountain College in Pulteney, Vermont. We were just there, but this time last week. Yeah, and he's doing amazing things. He has barrels aging on the campus. He's going to be doing some other projects on the campus, school, and just all these. They actually, as a brand, have something like 80% of 80% of the world's oldest Armagnac, over 50 years old. Something like tons of great old Armagnac that he's sourced from Calvados. But he took this bourbon, wonderful 9-year-old bourbon, and finished it in the award-winning 1973 vintage Armagnac, which is just so divine and won the best spirit of the year last year by Paul Colt. And we'll have, on Wednesday night, if you come see me in Louisville Bourbon's Bistro, we'll have a 1979 Armagnac for you to taste separately. But what this Armagnac has done, and I know you like Armagnac too, Sean.
Yeah.
It's really this wonderful French notes, the wood, that raisin note just has really wrapped itself for several months around this bourbon. And you're just getting something that's so divine, so pristine with sugar. With this cigar, it's just
Yes, sir.
You got the chocolate, you got the Armagnac. It feels very elegant. Because it has those old world notes with the new world notes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Time is time. You can't cheat time, man. So just to have access to, that cache of Armagnac and barrels and so forth.
So good.
There's no limit to what they can do. Man.
So awesome. Good. No, it's this is just something that just taking that puff after having that sip, just really the sugars come through, the notes on the palate. This cigar is so well done.
Yeah,
and of course, we will also have. I want to make sure I don't forget to mention Buzzard's Roost Toasted Barrel and their new American whiskey. Our good friend Jason Bronner's done so much with these bourbons and ryes, and these are just incredible. So it's going to be quite a lineup Wednesday on Derby Week. I don't think there'll be a better place to be on Wednesday night.
I was there last year, man.
We'll be toasting to you. We'll be toasting to you, Sean, from afar, because I know you were there last year. We had a good time last year. So as we have a lot of Cerium fans watching, again, let's break down the differences this year are what? What's different about it?
Well, we kind of talked about the components. It's a sort of from the outside going in, it's a double Corojo. I mean, you got the Corojo wrapper, right. Corojo binder, which in and of itself is
because the binder used to be what?
The binder was Esteli last year.
Esteli, okay. So this is a little different.
Yeah, so you still have Esteli in the filler along with here's the breakdown, man. Yeah, I don't, I'm smart, but I don't have to recall everything.
It's okay.
So filler,
all right.
of course,
do
we
a lot
talked
of
about
cigars.
the 98, the Doce Viso, Ligero Negrito, and the Fernandez Ligero, which is Nicaraguan. So you got a couple of regions, represented in there from Nicaragua. Very, very stout blend. Again, pulling on some of the similarities from previously, but just adding a little bit more muscle, elegant muscle, but
little
muscle
elegant backbone muscle, right? Yeah. It's serious. It's one of those that, though it's our first cigar of the day, you might save for after dinner. I mean, when would
this is not typically how I start my day. But
well, thanks for starting with me.
Yeah. No, I mean, as far as the cigars, I usually start
I get you
and work my way up. But
I get you.
We had the schedule, so obviously I'm not upset by
I'm very happy.
A chance to start my day with this being my first cigar. But yeah, man, that's kind of the breakdown, and you'll notice some aesthetic changes, just playing on the Reserva Roja, the red reserve. So
beautiful, kind of
still,
the reddish.
Still harkens back to Miami. When we were thinking Miami, we weren't thinking sort of modern Miami and the club scene. So which is nothing wrong with that. But we want to go back to sort of Prohibition era. Star Island,
right?
Just more, that sort of, Great Gatsby-esque sort of look. So that's what you got, just sort of the really, sort of ostentatious, imagery on it, or at least artwork on it.
I like it. They're like they look like fans that you would see kind of on the side of a
and which is a little different from before. Before you had sort of this lattice print on the box, but you don't mistake it when you see them, even though the patterns are different. The packaging still sort of evokes the same sort of feeling. This cigar could have been packaged like this, 90 years ago. So that's really it, man. Just kind of, again, really, really excited about being 4 years into this partnership and wanting to keep, the cigar lovers, and especially the Cohiba cigar lovers, interested, man, and
always something new with you. With what you're with what
we always want to try new things, and you don't always get an opportunity. I mean, we've really made it a point of really, really, really concentrating on and spending time on special release items. because our core stuff does very well. Which you have the black and blue. I think you're going to be featuring
Right,
next
the black
week,
and blue.
which are stalwarts in
Yep.
the line, and they
Yes.
roll just well in the marketplace along with the red and the Connecticut and so forth.
Oh,
The red
such
dot in Connecticut.
amazing.
So when we have a chance to do these special releases, we really want them to be special. So 3 years in, having not changed the blend, it was just a good time to say, okay, let's remix this and kind of offer a different twist on it.
I love what you've done here, and we should probably also see again. I know about El Titan de Bronze, what just an incredible team they have. Tell us what a difference that. I mean, I know you know them personally. You've worked. They're like family. They are family to you. But when they put their hands on this? Tell us about that place for those that don't know.
Well, it's just that their hands, and it's a different experience there. Most cigars that we smoke, as and I'm a cigar smoker first, so cigar consumers here in the U.S. Most cigars are rolled in pairs, where you have someone that does the bunching, and then someone else does the wrapping. That's not the case in El Titan de Bronze. It's the same person that rolls the cigar from start to finish. So one day they'll roll the cigars and they put them in the bunch, which is the filler and the binder, set it in the molds, and put the weighted clamp on it to give it a shape. And they come back the next day, pull those cigars out, and put the wrapper on. So it's a 2-day process for one person to make a production run of cigars. And usually it's only, depending on how fast the roller is, 110, maybe 120 cigars in a day. So it's just a very much more of a meticulous hands-on process.
Wow.
And and thus the reason for the small production. And there's not a lot of rollers there. If you ever go there, you'll see, man, it's from any given time, it's 9 to maybe a dozen rollers. So it's very, very, when they're rolling Serie-M, pretty much that's all that they're rolling. And there's a whole lot more, I guess, for lack of a better word, accountability in the construction, because well, this person rolled these cigars that day, and it's a little bit of a competitive thing there.
It's a small group. You go in a
small group, man. Small group.
How many people would be in most cigar factories in one day?
Oh God,
a couple hundred, or
it depends. Oh, hundreds, easy. I mean, a large factory, certainly.
And we have to have that to all have some cigars. We understand.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not like, because when it's all said and done, whether it's 10 rollers or 1,000 rollers, they're still rolled by hand, man. I mean, that's the beauty.
They're doing it by hand. It's an art.
As far as I know, AI is not rolling any cigars, right? So
let's hope they don't start.
Right. So,
but again, 10, and this particular one takes 2 days. 2 days to do.
Well, and that's not just that's not exclusive to the Serie-M. That's just the way the production works. It's one roller. They'll roll their cigars, one day as far as doing the bunches, which is basically the filler and the binder, and put them in the molds, and they have to sit in the mold overnight. Then they come back the next day and finish the cigars with putting the wrapper on. So it's a very meticulous process.
And just
with that, you yield a smaller amount of cigars as a race of production, but again, it's just a special experience.
It really is. The more I'm getting into it, the more I'm tasting it. I mean, it's opening up, and there's even though there's some earth, there is this wonderful, decadent creaminess that's coming through, and not a sweetness, but there's this creaminess that's there.
And especially once you get past that first sort of, I don't want to say quarter inch, maybe eighth of inch, because you get a lot more spice on the initial light.
You get the spice up front.
You're lighting the foot, a closed foot, so you're getting that Corojo wrapper. It's really, really pronounced. But once you get into it, then it starts you get more of the creaminess, and the earth is still there and present. You get the cocoa, the creaminess, the rich cedar, and it's the spice sort of backs off a little bit. So it's a different experience, man. Yeah,
it's kind of a spot in a
Very
way. It's
rich.
kind of there's this. I was trying to think, and again, only my second one of these to have, so I'm still working my way around the notes. But you think about these dark chocolates that have been laden or infused with the spicy chocolate you get from Lindt. The cayenne pepper chocolate blend. I'm getting a little of that. It's kind of that best of both worlds note.
Yeah, and it's just a very rich cigar. Like you want. I don't mind a full body cigar. I'm not crazy about a strong cigar necessarily, and this is a nice full body rich cigar. but you're not, the tobacco is exceptionally aged, so you're not going to get the nicotine buzz or anything like that. It's just a full body, flavorful, ride of a cigar.
Not a whole lot of nicotine buzz on this one.
No.
Now
I don't know. I don't know with the.
Well, that Blue Run and such a beautiful bottle.
Yeah.
And I tell you, we even featured one of the Blue Run single barrels at that event I did last year in San Diego, which was Who's Your Pappy, to get them to guess which. It was a blind tasting. We had a Pappy 23, and that we featured that wonderful 8-year-old single barrel they did. It was incredible, and a lot of people thought it was the Pappy. But I'm gonna, I haven't poured the Buzzard's Roost yet. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one too.
Man, you're better. I don't. You worked through a flight of bourbon on one cigar. I'm kind of a one-trick pony kind of guy. So I keep it in the pocket.
With cigars they have to evolve. With whiskeys they evolve too. But we can tell you this is the flavor I get with cigars. That's what I love about a little longer conversations with my cigar friends like you. Yeah. I'm putting this up. bourbonblog.com/tickets is where you can get tickets for our event, our Derby event that I'm so proud to co-host with Bourbon's Bistro and Jason Bronner this week. If you're watching it later, you can still go to that link and see the latest and greatest things we're doing. Sean's always on the road and doing a lot of great events too. You're actually heading to, you told me before, I thought it was so cool for those of us that remember this wonderful performer from American Idol. Where are you heading tomorrow?
So I'm heading to Birmingham tomorrow. Shout out to the Cigar Men of Distinction, Birmingham, a group that Ruben Studdard is an esteemed member of. I assume he travels a lot, but when he's in Birmingham, he burns cigars with these guys. Britt Causey is a guy that coordinates a lot of the activities there, and certainly a person that I've communicated with a good bit over the years as well. And I've done some virtual activations with them, so this is going to be the first time I've had a chance to meet the members in person. But they do this big annual event, and they get 600 cigar lovers, man, to come out. It'll be a beautiful day tomorrow, outdoors in Birmingham, and just great day to enjoy cigars, man, and kick back, and a lot worse things you could be doing on a Sunday afternoon. So I'll drive over. You day trip it, which is a rare thing to be able to do. But it's a couple hours drive over to Birmingham, but it's easy enough to go over, spend a few hours, and drive back. So I
love Birmingham, great city. Annabelle and of course Ruben Studdard. I remember watching him on American Idol, thinking this guy is so powerful.
Big
voice,
big passionate cigar guy. I mean, he's passionate about his craft, obviously, as well.
Really, so cool. It's great to hear that you're doing that, Sean. I know you're going to be going to a lot of great places, including Derby this week. So many people will be enjoying you. And again, this one, the Serie M. This year, how much more limited is it? Tell us one more time. Make sure people get it.
So we only made 30,000 cigars this year. So it's super limited. So it's going to be 3,000 10-count boxes floating out there in the wild. So if you see one, I strongly suggest you grab it by the box. I'd imagine shops will be selling singles, but I mean this is certainly a collector's item. I mean, this is the first.
It really will be.
This is our inaugural blend for this cigar. I mean, it's the fourth release, but the first time that we've done this blend, and it's also the first time that we actually, as I said, put a year statement on the box as well. So this is when you
first time you've done the year statement as well. So only 3,000 versus how many boxes did you do before?
5,000 typically. Yeah.
So quite a bit more limited. We also had posted the story recently on bourbonblog.com about the new Cohiba Riviera Lancero, though I don't have one in front of me. Tell me a little bit about that. What are you loving about that?
I got to take care of my guy. Yeah, man. So
tell me about it.
Riviera was a full-time release that came out around this time last year.
Last we introduced it at our event.
Yes. I
was so lucky to do that with you. I felt so blessed.
Yes. You guys won the first 3 events. We did a release in New York at Club Macanudo.
Cool. Yes.
We also had it featured at the Atlantic City Cigar Expo, Cigar Fest, and then you guys. So it was the first full-time release we had done in a number of years since 2020. Great cigar. The blend is just a decadent cigar, man. San Andreas wrapper, Honduran Connecticut binder. Condega, Esteli, Jalapa in the filler, with a little Halmstad Valley Honduran.
All those notes.
So you're really talking about the cocoa and the leather.
One of my
a little bit
favorites, by the way, to pair with just about, you think about bourbon, rye, even a cocktail, it
Yeah,
goes well
yeah,
with
yeah,
all
yeah,
of them.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
How does the
It's a very,
Lancero?
the Lancero gives you all of those sort of characteristics we talked about, just a little bit more intensity. So it's like the concentrated sweetness in the Lancero really really pops through, and it is a great cigar. I mean, and I've as a cigar maker, I toyed with the idea of doing a Lancero years before coming on board with the STG and Cohiba. And it's something that we really didn't have on the radar. You know, I've been here 7 years now, and it was really just the last couple of years that we started talking about it. And once we landed on the Riviera blend and we really enjoyed it in the sizes that it, that we released it, we thought that in the Lancero it would perform admirably, and it does. It really shines. So yeah, so look for that as well. Yeah.
Really comes through. That's is that the first Lancero to be part of the Cohiba
Very,
family?
very first Lancero ever. Yeah.
First
Yeah.
Lancero ever. That's out now.
Oh yeah, it's out now.
Out now. Watch for the Riviera Lancero. Watch for this one. Obviously, I want to make sure we tease forward to several things. Sean and I did a masterclass recently that we filmed with a great team at Club Macanudo in Manhattan.
Yeah.
I'm told that's going to be out in the next couple of months on cigarworld.com and Bourbon Blog.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. That was a lot of fun, man.
We had a
it's
blast.
Amazing though how long it's like we filmed so much content, and you think, okay, we got enough, but yeah, I mean they're trying to make us look decent, man. I don't know.
Sean and I were starting around 9-10 a.m. in the morning. Again, very carefully, having cigars, having some whiskey, 2 days in a row. A wonderful filming team, and we tried everything.
I was terrified, like, starting off in the morning, because we had to drink through the bourbons because we're pairing it with the cigars, and man, we muscled through it though. It worked out, but it was man, that was a lot.
You brought some of the rarest cigars. You brought the Weller, the Serie M. You brought some very rare, and also just some of the best. The Connecticut's. I brought some of the best whiskeys I could find. The Orphan Barrel, the Puros. We had some Bach de Armagnac. We had a little bit of everything.
And you weren't too shabby on the scotches.
We had some scotches.
That King Alexander, man, was no joke.
King Alexander from Dalmore was incredible. We had some Bardstown Bourbon Company. We had some Hard Truth. All of these, again, the Watching Cigar World. We both, going into it, had talked about here's what we're going to do. But at the end, I feel like we were learning from the experience and just really creating something very unique.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you don't know what the flow is going to be until you start, and sometimes you'll catch a certain inspiration or a certain theme, and you kind of go with that, and so we flex executed as I like to say throughout it, and just have fun, man. So yeah, hopefully it presents well. Hopefully people tune in and check it out, because it was definitely a great experience for me, and yeah, man, and have you there. I mean, I enjoy whiskeys, but you live whiskey, so it's kind of cool. And then they're gonna get to see you behind the bar, man.
I was behind the bar too. I made
that
a
revolver that you mixed up. That was
We did awesome. We put together the revolver and some other cocktails. I think will go great, and we're just gonna have so much fun promoting this and just sharing it. And Shauna, I can't wait till it comes out. So much we have to look forward to. The class that'll be out online, Cigar World and Bourbon Blog, Serie M, the new Riviera. Anything else we want to mention that's coming? Can we hint at anything else?
That's it. We got our now seems like annual releases. Weller will be out later this summer. The new Weller,
right.
which we're I'm sure you appreciate. We made a change with that. The last couple of years, we have aged the binder in the Weller 12-year barrel. Well, this year it's going to be Weller Full Proof, which I'm really excited about.
Full Proof.
So that'll be
binders aged. The binders aged in the Full Proof. You said.
The Connecticut Broadleaf binders aged in the Weller Full Proof barrel. So the Buffalo Trace Distillery has been a terrific partner to work with as well. But it's not easy to get a lot of things from them as it relates to the juice. So it's great to have all the barrels that they send out to us, and make sure that we can create a truly authentic experience with it. So we're excited about that. Again, that'll be late in the summer, and then later in the year, later in the fall, early winter, Spectre will come out this year. So looking forward to that, man. But aside from that, just going to be smoking I can't say a lot, but I'll be smoking a few of the Syriam. I'll be
Your
smoking a lot
Syriam?
of the Riviera Lancero and all the other stuff we have in the mix, man. And just kind of, working through the year. You know how it goes.
I'm looking forward to it, brother. And and again, for those of you that enjoy fine spirits, whiskeys, like we've been doing today, and that Blue Run, of course, all the ones I've showcased, you will most likely be seeing Sean and I pour some with some cigars someplace near you soon. So just be watching.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks so much for letting us be the first to talk about the Syriam and have you on.
Man. Of course.
And sip and pair. I love this, so I'm going to keep on smoking it. Sean, I hope the weather continues to be there. Great weather in Georgia.
My man, I'll see you soon.
Cheers, brother. Thanks. Cheers. Fantastic.